Hey guys, welcome back. This is Blue Forest. So today I just wanted to go over a few things related to raiding. I do sometimes get questions about them. So I'm going to go over my philosophy with raiding. I have also done a couple of raids in the past few days. I did 3 100 plus K bases, so I am going to include the videos of those if you'd like to see them. But when it comes to raiding, the first thing I want to say is that you should always look at your base as a gold generating mechanism more than anything else. This is what experienced players do because you can claim gold from your base every 8 hours. And if you have maxed out bots, rank 5, rank 6 bots, you can get a lot of gold. And even if you don't have maxed out bots yet, you can get a fair amount of gold every 8 hours. And you always want to make sure that you have your gold generating relics equipped when you claim gold, because you can get up to 35% additional gold if you have, like I do right now, the Cloaking Field, Star Saber, and the Hound relics on your base. You'll get a lot of extra gold. And if you have maxed out bots, you can be getting over 100k gold every time you claim gold from your base. Think of it that way, because you don't want to think of your base as some sort of thing that you have to defend, because the vast majority of your raid defenses will not be successful. And that's just because of the fact that at the end of the day, raids are not very difficult. And most experienced players are going to have maxed out bots, rank 5, rank 6 bots. You take them up against virtually any base and you can get through it without much trouble, even if you're not that good of a player. There are some bot and mod combinations that are kind of annoying, that can be tricky, but there's a limit to how difficult raids can be. That's particularly true because, we don't have new mods. 4-star mods cannot even be ranked up all the way. You can rank up a 3-star mod higher than a 4-star mod because they never bothered to release the sparks necessary to max out 4-star mods. Raids have been very neglected by Kabam. They've been the exact same way for years. They get very repetitive. They're not really all that fun, most of the time. Every now and then, it's a little bit interesting, but for the most part, raids are just not very difficult once you're an experienced player. If you're still building your roster, however, there are some bot and mod combinations that can be difficult to go up against, but honestly, I wouldn't worry about them too much. Generally speaking, though, all I will say about mods is that the more offensive ones are usually going to be a little bit more helpful to you. So things like Robot Resource, Harm Accelerator, Nightbird's Mark, those have some, real usefulness. The defensive ones, generally speaking, just don't provide all that much value. So, you can experiment with different bot and mod combinations, but again, any bot and mod combination can be countered. Even Tronus on Robot Resource, which is one of the most annoying combinations, can be fairly easily countered as long as you have the right bots. And even if you do end up losing a bot against a bot like Tronus on RR, well, you can always finish them with the next bot, right? Because every raid is only 5 fights, right? You got 3 bots to finish 5 opponents. That's it. So when it comes to raiding itself, a couple of things. First of all, only raid when you need something, okay? Raid chips are meant to be spent. So if there's something that you want in the store, do your raid, and most of the time you'll be able to get enough chips from 1 raid. I would say 2 at most. So do your raid or your couple of raids, go to the store, buy whatever you need, then you can be done with it. There is no reason ever to hoard your raid chips. There's no point in doing that at all. And in fact, if you don't want to be raided that often, the best thing you can do is, number 1, don't raid that much yourself. And number 2, keep your raid chips low. Right now I have less than 4,000 raid chips. I very rarely have more than a few thousand at a time. Which makes me a less attractive target to raid because you're only getting between 10 and 13% of the opponent's raid chips. So if you're holding on to hundreds of thousands of raid chips, you're going to be a much more attractive target. So if you keep your raid chips low, less people are going to want to raid you because they're not going to get that many raid chips when they do raid you. So I always spend my raid chips as soon as I'm done raiding. I get what I need and then I'm done. And I don't raid that often. I only really raid when I actually need to raid. Another thing I would say is don't bother revenging other people. To me, that is a very silly and stupid feature. It doesn't actually make things fun or exciting. And I don't bother with it because, again, a lot of the time the opponent is not going to have that many raid chips. You want to maximize the raid chips that you get so that you don't have to raid over and over again. And so I always laugh when people revenge me because, like I said, I keep my raid chips very low. And that means that the vast majority of the time, if somebody revenges against me, they're getting very few raid chips. So don't bother with revenge. That's just for vanity. That's just dumb, okay? So those are the fundamentals. Raid when you need something. Don't hoard your raid chips. Spend them quickly. Don't raid more than necessary. Don't revenge people. You do those things, you're good to go. Also, keep as many maxed out or as close to maxed out bots as you can on your base, because you're going to generate more gold. Remember, that is always the goal, is to generate as much gold as you can, because like I said, the vast majority of your raid defenses are not going to be successful, and that's totally fine. When it comes to the raid store, it is in a desperate need of an overhaul. It's very outdated. It hasn't changed in years, but it is on a schedule. So you can find the schedule on Discord or ask a friend. It's on a 28-day schedule. Right now we're on day 5, right? So today the Warrior SIGs are in the store. For experienced players, there isn't actually a whole lot in the store that people tend to want, but you can get the 4-star SIGs of each class once a month. Once a week, we also have the AM kits, which are really good for AMs, particularly for higher level AMs. We do get the night crystals twice a month. Those are okay. The tier 4 ones, you can theoretically pull a 5-star bot. I never have, but you can. Energon does come once a month. It'll actually come in 7 days. You can get up to 200 Energon. There are 2-star sharks in the store once a month. So there's a handful of things that might be useful to experienced players. I would say actually there are more things that are useful to less experienced players, but it's good to have the schedule, because in that way at least you know what's coming, and then you can plan to do a raid or a couple of raids if you need to. But beyond that, though, the store is pretty outdated, and when it comes to the stuff that's in the store every day, unfortunately, it's pretty obsolete, right? So we have, for example, okay, the 3-star superconductor. Once you have that at SIG 100, you never need to buy it again. The tier 3 essence crystals for 75,000, really ridiculous, because you're only getting 500 essence for 75,000 chips. You can get the tier 2 to 4 ore every day. The tier 3 and 4 ore is okay, if you want to just spend your chips on something. Then you have a couple of these relics that change every 6 weeks or so. So right now, we have the Galvatron relics, which gives you attack and health in AMs, and the Hot Rod relics, which gives you attack and health in special missions. Then you have all the relics that don't change. And then you can also get tier 1 and 2 basic sparks every day, and the alpha and tier 3 basic essence every day. So the stuff that's in the store every day is not super exciting. It's not going to be anything that's really going to be a game changer for most people, but it is there every day. So that's really it when it comes to raids, right? Now, if you are building up a roster and you're starting to do raids that are, at a much higher level than you're used to, if you're, if you only have rank 2, rank 3 bots and you're going to go up against 100K base, that might be tricky. The best thing to do, of course, is to look at the top bot, because it will always show you the top bot on the base and what the mod is. So if you feel like you're going to struggle against that, don't bother with the raid, right? If you don't have a good counter to the top bot and the top mod, then you might end up, getting yourself killed, right? So look at the top bot. That's more important than the overall rating of the base. You want to make sure that you have a good counter to that top bot. But otherwise, like I said, once you have bots that are, rank 4, rank 5, you're going to be able to do basically any base that you want, just because of the fact that, like I said, you're only fighting 5 bots with 3. And even if you end up losing a bot, you'll be fine. You'll do just fine. This is why the vast majority of raid defenses are not successful. So that's just my general philosophy with raiding, guys. I don't expect any changes to come to the raid store or to raiding in general, probably ever, actually. I mean, there's a million other things that I think many people would prefer to come first that have not come. So this is just how raids are. It'd be nice if they were made more difficult and if you could actually get more useful things from the store, but this is how it is. So I will leave it there for now, guys. I am going to include videos for the 3 recent raids that I did, just for fun, if you want to see them. And until we speak again, let me know if you have any questions, and we will be in touch again soon.